Hello and welcome to Cadiz. This is Dresden's Tale, episode 30. This is a show where we follow the adventures of Dresden Fane, a dwarf, a warlock, the new standard of action heroes in the 3 to 4 foot height range. Our hero exists in the violence of Keld culture, battling to survive from one festival to the next. Don't delude yourselves, this dwarf is well fed and ready for a nice nap. We mention the camps a lot, I think. We talk about heretics, sheep, and converts. Is this something unique to Dresden's experience within his own world, or is it normal? By definition, every hero's experience is a daring tale with its ups and downs, dips and dives, crises, and resolutions. However, the processing of war booty is big business in the context of clan economics. As a chief, would you rather have a cartload of cook pots and olive oil, or a new member for the clan, someone to spend the rest of their lives contributing to your economy, perhaps destined to be the parent of children, some of which might become warriors to fight for your people? The acquisition of new Kelds begins with conversion, continues with education, and has a whole lot of exploitation mixed in along the way. The way the system is supposed to work begins with raids or total war against heretic neighbors. Captives are called sheep because they are generally the ones unwilling to fight back and hence survive. Of course, there are exceptions. Many sheep pick up the club, some even before reaching camps. Perhaps a repressed minority realizes the Kelds have actually set them free. It could be a woman in a misogynistic culture or a member of a species considered a slave race. Say what you will about the Kelds, but if you can take a beating and survive, there's no limit to your upward mobility. After the conquest, sheep are educated in camps. Cadiz is the only official one, and in 2051, business is bad. The conquest of the Hessian states, wars on Julebecks, and the conversion of the Narishist on Balestrand all happened more or less concurrently. Cadiz saw a boom, and now we're in the lag that follows. Education is supposed to be a process taking no more than a year or two. Once graduated, a sheep is allocated to a clan. Technically, the warriors among them have the ability to choose where to go, but in reality, they're pressured to wherever they need to go to fit quotas. The system favors the clans who do the conquering, but ensures no clan is left without growth. Aside from education, the camp exists to indoctrinate. Certainly the Kelds adopt some aspects of every culture they absorb, but 90% is washed away. Languages are outlawed, music squashed, storytelling traditions erased. The goal of the camp is to produce Kelds, inside and out. What was that? Terrible? An atrocity? Crimes against humanity? If you think so, you have a good moral character, but put that shit on hold. We are Keld. Now, where's our little war criminal? Ah, there he is, half asleep in his bunk. It is 2051 years after the fall. This is chapter 28. Deep blue eyes stared into his. Her hand was firmly down his pants. They kissed passionately, and Emma dropped to her knees before him. He had beaten the bloodthirsty troll, and in doing so saved her. Now it was time to collect the prize. Dresden, I heard you got your first debriefing. The bunk shook. His world spun as he woke. A slightly fishy, barely reptilian, and completely gorgeous face was just inches from his. Garlf, he said. Leith looked down the bed and saw the tent his dream had created. Oh. She promptly turned and left the barracks. You can stop laughing now, Dresden threw someone's shoe at Garum. Garlf! His friend was near hysterical. He tried to stand and fell back to a knee. You know, I'm gonna tell everybody. Dresden considered giving the man a beating. Instead, he threw on his new clothes and stormed out of the barracks. Hey, it was Leith again. He considered running. Maybe if he just kept going, she'd think he didn't hear her over the wind. Hey, come here. she called again. Now it would just be cowardly to continue his retreat. Turning, he strode towards her. "What?" And immediately felt bad for yelling. She was dressed in a blue flax tunic that followed every one of her muscular curves. Brown leather pants and high boots rounded out her outfit. A saber hung from her fit waist. Along the side of her head was a series of tiny brands, each one representing a place, person, or battle important to her. Her exposed left shoulder showed off a stylized Wolverine tattoo representing her personal loyalty to the god Agamar, the Berserker Lord. "What?" he asked in a much smaller voice. "Sorry about in there. I thought you might want to talk about the debriefing," Leith told him. "I know they can be rough." "That was weeks ago. Why now?" "I've been busy. My team made a run down to the south end of the island." She put a hand firmly on his arm. "Sit with me for a minute. I don't know if dwarves like the sea, but the view's nice." "Yeah, the view's pretty good." He made sure he didn't look at her. If she thought he was talking about her, it would just sound goofy. She sighed. "Why are you always so grumpy?" "I'm not grumpy. It's like you said, there's just a lot to do." "You were asleep?" "I wasn't being lazy. We unloaded cargo for most of the night. They've been bringing in food for the camps for the winter. When I'm not unloading, I'm studying. Zivlich is complicated. It's like understanding music without an instrument. Oh, and I've been trying to get through a book. Madrilla's Ploy. One of the priests loaned it to me." "You're reading a book? It's part of your studies, right?" Not really. It's a hypothetical discussion between a priest of Madrilla and a priest of Samtha. They take turns accusing each other of supporting partisanship. Well, except it's not really about partisans because there weren't any such thing when they were written. But so the thing is, never mind. I can tell you don't really care. It's not that I don't care. It's just that I've been in the field for a couple weeks, and I really wasn't wanting to stress about theology. "So what's going on down south?" She smiled. "Monsters, that's all. We took down an aciped, acid-breathing, armored giant millipede." "Sounds dangerous." "Not for an experienced paramilitia. Hey, I know what we can do. Let's walk. It's some kind of prole holiday in the Legend clan. I think I can get us fed over at the camps." "Proles don't get holidays," Dresden grumbled, but let her take him on the short hike. She'd gotten a hold of his arm again, guiding him down the trail. "Was it all bad? The Inquisitors, I mean." "Huh. Best 12 hours of my life. It all kind of runs together." 12 hours? I never went over 3. Why would it take so long?" "No idea." The wind swirled. He thought a storm might have been coming in. It was dark over the northern sea, but sometimes rain moved away instead of inland. Leith sighed. That's a long time. Was it because of the thing in the mountains?" He looked up at her. "What thing?" Leith stopped. Squaring off, she looked him straight in the eye and giggled. "If you answered like that, no wonder it took all day." She took a knee, looking at him eye to eye. "I know it feels like they're trying to pry out secrets you don't have, but it's worth it. They protect from spies moving freely about." "I guess." "I think the reports also determine who gets to carry clan magic. I once got a couple of healing potions after an interview. Either way, you don't have to be short with me." She took a close look at his eye. "It looks good, still milky. At this point, it's not going to get any better. At least I still have my hearing." "It's not so bad." "What?" He held up a hand to his ear. Leith swatted him firmly on the chest. "Very funny," she told him, her face just a few inches from his. "You do look good in those new clothes." He thought she growled a little. He leaned forward, but before anything could happen, she was up and on the move. "You know, if you did go up against a wyvern, that's pretty cool. I want to hear about this flying wagon ride you supposedly took." "There's nothing supposed about it. He spent the rest of the walk telling her the story. I'm not sure how I lived through it, and apparently the commanders just said I was brave, not hopelessly stupid. How did you hear about it anyway? She grinned. If you want to keep a secret, don't tell my idiot brother. He tried to say he'd done it at first, but I popped him on the head until he told me the truth. So, you actually rode the wagon as it flipped. He thought for just a second she sounded impressed. Doesn't sound stupid to me. They walked among the entertainers. Bards from the various clans put on performances. Men juggled and women danced to attract lustful eyes. But everyone had an agenda. Center stage were the storytellers, everyone telling tales meant to impress the listeners over the exploits of a particular church, work gang, house, clan, or city. Sometimes they even managed to play up several at once. Dresden realized he was actually maintaining a conversation with a normal female, or he had been. How long since they spoke? Minutes at least. His mind raced for something sensible to say. They asked a lot about you. She stepped away from him. What? Oh, that was a mistake. I didn't tell him anything. I don't know anything to say. Well, exactly what did they ask? About us. I mean, not that there isn't us. That'd be crazy, right? A dwarf and a Ranayan. A pretty Ranayan. It wouldn't be weird for me with you. But, I mean, okay, so I'm not sure what I mean. I didn't tell them anything. I don't honestly know why they were so interested. Oh, maybe I'm up for a promotion. Her eyes danced. See you later, Wolverine's teeth, and hello, Deathwave. Where do they come up with the names? You have a pretty good thing going, too, for a rookie. Maybe they were just checking up on the new darling of the Stone Clan. Either way, we should. Dresden! Another voice screamed. Suddenly, he was on the ground. He managed to get back to his feet. Demi, she was still dangling from him. Thank you so much. I knew betting you could only bring good things. She pulled back just far enough to give him a deep kiss. Come here. They have brisket. Who are you looking for? Nobody. His heart sank. Just, someone I have no relationship with and never will. The dwarf kissed him again. Her loss. They said you told them about our lessons, and just like that, I got an increase in rations and a new bedroll. Did I say thank you? For the next hour, they walked, ate, and kissed. The whole time, Dresden tried to stop thinking about Leith. He kept expecting her to turn back up, but was certain it would just make things worse. Finally, he decided that whatever Leith was going to tell him before Demi intervened, it didn't matter, and it never would. Demi, why don't we find some place more private? Oh, sorry, I can't. She looked south towards the sun. I'm out of time. I have to get back to the camp. He tried to pretend it didn't matter. Well, maybe next time. Yes, definitely, she said in her most enticing voice. I guess that's it. Thought for sure our little fighter was going to get some action. I'm super glad that you chose to spend a little time with me today. Do the stuff. Like, comment, share. It helps more than you might think. And don't forget to check out my selections for Kindle on Amazon. Most of all, thank you for listening. And I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day.